No, it's funny because it's funny. Like when I
So
posted in
yeah,
the forum, like I really did want to just be like, look, like I have zero accounting experience, right? Like any of you people in here, follow the process and it does work. And then like I don't know, like I feel like I get some messages back saying like, what process did you use? And I'm like, I'm in the SuperFast CPA forum. Like, just like what I did, right? No other secret sauce here.
welcome to another episode of the CPA Exam Experience Podcast from SuperfastCPA. I'm Logan, and in today's episode, you're going to hear me talking to Matt. I really enjoyed talking to Matt. He had a lot of great thoughts, but what it really came down to was he just wanted to say, hey, Superfast CPA worked, and there wasn't anything else special about it. He just followed the Superfast CPA process. The first time I saw him was actually on our forum. He joined the forum just to say that he passed the CPA exams with Superfast CPA, and I really enjoyed hearing his story. He had zero accounting experience. When he was in college, he had decided to go with finance instead of with accounting because at that time, that was just the easiest thing, GPA preservation, as he says in the interview. He just wanted to be able to graduate with a decent GPA, so he went for finance because he wasn't doing very well in his accounting classes. 30 years later, he's 52 years old, has no accounting experience, and is still able to pass the CPA exams by following the Superfast CPA strategies. It's as straightforward as that, and you'll hear him mention that multiple times. That's all he did. He just followed the process and he passed the CPA exams. So I feel like you're really going to like this episode. He has some great tips, so make sure you listen through the whole thing. Now, before we dive into the episode with Matt, there's just a couple things I want to remind you about. There is our Superfast CPA training webinar on SuperfastCPA.com where we will teach you the key ingredients to passing the CPA exam. And after you watch that, you're going to want to learn more. So make sure you also check out becoming a Superfast CPA Pro member. Pro members get access to the full versions of our multiple choice question walkthrough videos. So we have the shorter versions on YouTube for free, but if you want the full versions, you become a Superfast CPA Pro member and you'll get access to the full versions so that you can get a little bit more help and a little bit more practice. So make sure you check out becoming a pro member, and the easiest way to do that is by, again, checking out the free webinar. Now, with all that out of the way, let's dive straight into the episode with Matt. Thanks for being on the call today with me, Matt. I'm excited to be talking to you. I think you joined the forum just to post that you had passed. At least that was when I saw you join the forum. So I'm excited to hear your story. So like I typically do, I would like to just kind of jump in from the start. So where were you in your life, in your career, when you decided you want to go for the CPA?
I mean, I was a commodity broker for like 20 plus years. I had left my job in 2018 because my wife and I were kind of building a daycare business.
Okay.
We were like about 10 years into that, and it was like, well, if I get another one of these things, I could probably do something else.
Probably cool. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and like they kind of needed somebody on the back end. It was a lot on her plate. We had 4 kids, and 4 kids like 16 and under at the time, and it was a little hectic. So it was gonna be, if I left, it was gonna be tight, but we could probably swing it. So I don't know. 7 years later, and now my then 16-year-old is 22, and he's starting at RSM. And he's about to take his CPA exam, and
Cool.
And I kind of thought, like, I don't know, like I've been trying to figure out something else to do, and like I was like, all right, part of it was like a challenge, part of it was like, I'm 52. I mean, it definitely skews about 30 years higher than the average entry level guy, but I probably got another 20 years left of maybe working,
in the tank, 20 years in the tank. Yeah.
I kind of like to stay busy. So I don't know, maybe I could make this work.
Okay.
And basically what my son was doing, he didn't do a Mac program. He graduated Penn State in 4 years. And then he just went on like this CPAcredits.com and and got the rest of his credits. So I was like, well, I could do that. So I had 12 credits from 30 years ago in college, so I needed 15 more to sit for the exam. So, I did that, and I bought Becker. And then a week later, I got the Superfast.
Okay. And how did you hear about Superfast? Did your son ever use it, or was that just something that you found?
No, I mean, I found it because our phones spy on us, right? So like
Yeah.
after about a
Yeah.
week of that, next thing Nate is basically on
Yep.
any social media thing I may have, which is really
Yeah.
honestly just like Instagram or like freaking YouTube videos, right? But
Yep.
that's definitely what it is, right? And then
Yep.
and I kind of was like, all right, whatever. I don't know. Like, I mean, like super fast CPA. Like, I wasn't like, yeah, I figured, maybe I'd give it a chance, but I'd try this Becker thing out first,
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you kind of figure out about 3 videos into Peter Olinto, that, it's going to be a lot more than that, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you're going to go that route, like, you're going to have to read the textbook. Which,
Yeah.
like, I wasn't reading that textbook. Like, like, it's not happening, right? Like, I mean, like, I guess if you had a few years to do it, right? Like, I mean, so, like,
The full 30 months.
yeah, like, super fast is kind of what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So did you see one of the ads, and then did you go watch the webinar and then buy it? Like, did you buy the full course, like the study materials and the pro course?
I thought the pro course was just everything, no?
So there's the total bundle where you have the pro course and then the study tools. Did you have both?
I guess I feel like I had everything. I don't know. You guys were running a
Yeah,
deal.
like-
You guys were running a deal like last October, and
Yeah.
I took the deal, and that, I mean, whatever. It came with the app. It came with the audio notes. It came with the mini
The
quizzes.
review notes.
So it was like, is that what you're talking about? Or like,
Yeah. So that's the study materials. And then did you also, if you didn't, that's fine. But the pro course is where Nate has a whole bunch of video lectures explaining the whole process
Yeah, I did.
You had that as well? Okay,
I had
yeah.
that.
Okay.
I don't know that
Perfect.
I watched a few of the videos. I did that long one where he goes
The
over
planting
like
seeds walkthrough. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like it was like 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that was crazy. Like, I actually couldn't even believe I was going through that whole video at first, but it actually turned out to be quite helpful.
Yeah. So I guess let's just dive into your process then. So did you study? I mean, you did a little bit of Becker, but pretty quickly you're like, okay, I need something a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
something like that.
I was inclined to, like, basically when I studied for the Series 7 25 years ago, it was the same type of thing. Like, I got the textbook and I was like, yeah, I'm not reading this entire textbook, right? And I just did I just did the tests. I just kept doing the tests until I got an 85, and I sat for the test and got an 85, all right? So, like, it was kind of like, I was looking for somebody else to, like, sort of tell me to go that route with the CPA exam. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I did.
And and so did you study like with the super fast process? Like, did you study in the morning? Did you do multiple choice questions first? Like, what did your study process look like?
Yeah, I mean, I would get up early, and I would do, I mean, basically what Nate said to do, kind of do a module. Is it a module or a chapter? I think I did Becker's, so it's like, it would be like F1, and that had a bunch of different chapters, right? So I would do one, right, and then basically get everything wrong, right? Like, honestly, at one point I said to my wife, I might as well try out for the Knicks. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing here, right? Like, so like I would do that, and then and then the re-review, right? So it's like, if you did F1 and then F1 M1, right, and the next day F1 M2, right? I'd do the M2s, and I'd do a review, a 30-question review of 1 and 2, right? Sometimes if a chapter, I guess we'll call the M's chapters. If it didn't have like a ton of questions, I'd do 2 of them. And then do the re-review, right? I would listen to the audio notes. Why? Because like basically, I got to work like 4 hours a day for the most part. I got to stop by, check on the schools. So I'm driving over there. I'm listening to Nate. And I do mini quizzes. I did a ton of mini quizzes, throughout the day. Like, I mean, he's right. Like, you have your phone. Like, instead of looking at something stupid on your phone, do a mini quiz. So I would do a mini quiz, right? I mean, I'd go to bed because I sleep with headphones. I go to bed and I would sleep with the audio notes on, right? And I would just pass out, right? Like, I mean, Nate's voice is kind of,
I know.
He can put you to sleep a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, maybe some of it kind of penetrated while I was sleeping
Maybe
as well.
osmosis a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I was doing that.
Okay.
And
So you were waking up doing basically you're just doing the process. You're waking up, doing the questions in the morning, doing the re-review.
yeah, I mean,
Throughout the day you're listening to, yeah.
I'm sorry. So first couple of months, first 3 months, I was taking those classes, right? Because I needed the extra 15 to be able to sit for the exam,
Right.
So like, it was
Right.
kind of like, and that was tedious. I mean, it was, whatever. It was all online classes, like zero teaching, but like just like a ton of homework assignments, right? Like it was very time consuming.
Yeah.
And then I would, so like in the morning, like I said, I would do what I said with the vector review material as per Nate. And then most of the rest of the day, I was kind of just like banging out the assignments because I just wanted to get through it as fast as possible. Like I got the five
Right.
classes done in 3 months.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
wow, that's pretty quick. Yeah.
and then I had like 3 weeks left at the end of that when I had to submit it to. I guess you're submitting it
for your
to
NTS,
NASPA, right? Like I needed to,
yeah.
like I needed the approval now, right? And that's when I
yeah.
that's when I like really went hardcore into into all the Becker. Like I mean, then I would go crazy. Like I was doing like 120 to 100 to 200 questions a day. Like I'd do F1, F2 30 questions, F3, F4 30 questions, F5, F6 30 questions, and I'd do a 30 question review, right? And then if I wasn't too exhausted, I would do like 30 questions of Becker has that personalized mode.
Right.
And I'd do those. Like, and I'd always have like another window open blocking the answers to the questions, right? Because like, I mean, if you're doing all these multiple choice, like I don't care if you have like a photographic memory or not, like you're going to remember these questions. Like you're going to remember the answers, right? Like, I mean, so you'd always have to block them. And then like, you'd have to be like brutally honest with yourself. Like if you're clicking an answer right because you know it or you just remembered the answer. Right. So like there are plenty of times when I do a practice test and I'd click the wrong answer on purpose just because I knew that like, I knew the answer, but like I still didn't know how to do it, and like, what good is that?
That's
right. Like,
that's something, that's exactly something that we talk to people all the time, especially in the coaching program where, this happened to me all the time, exactly like you said, when I was doing audit, especially where I saw the question without even having to read it. I would just know the structure of the question and be like, okay, I know what this question is. I know what the answer is. And I had to really stop myself from picking the right answer because I didn't know why that was the right answer.
Right.
So I like you pretty much did exactly what we recommend to people, we recommend to do is just pick the wrong answer on purpose. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, like, whatever. I mean, who are you really helping if you're just going to click an answer just because you memorized it, right? Like it's
it doesn't prove anything because nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares if you get all the answers correct or anything like that. The only thing that matters is on test day.
Yeah.
So just to make sure I'm understanding you there. So you were kind of doing like a little like a normal 2 hours, but then you were hitting the classes really hard. But then once you finished the classes, you were studying a lot more. Were you studying a lot more than 2 hours a day? Were you doing like 4 to 6 hours a day or something like that?
I mean, I would say I averaged on a weekday probably about two hours. Like I do 2 hours in the morning, and then at night I'd probably I guess maybe it was closer to 3. Like for once I was done with the classes.
Yeah.
Because basically I was just like waiting for that window where whatever that time they said that I can actually take it. So, I didn't do flashcards. Like the only thing I did flashcards for was, a few days before the test for FAR, I made flashcards for the ratios.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not going to remember. Like I didn't even bother memorizing most of them before that. Like I'm just going to bang this out in the last few days, and that worked out fine for me.
And I did want to ask you about that. So, what did it look like, or what happened when you got to your first exam? Did you take FAR first?
I did.
Is that what you did?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So how did that go? What was it like?
Well, I think I crushed the multiple choice. Like I felt great, and like I was actually worried because like whatever. I mean, I feel like there was always this rumor going around like that when you get to the second set of 25 questions, right? If they were harder, that means you did well on the first 25 questions. If they were easier, that means you did you didn't do as well on the first 25 questions. So when I got to that second testlet, and like it was just as, I felt kind of as easy as the first testlet, I was like, oh man, like I don't know how to feel,
Oh
right?
no.
But I don't know. I think that's incorrect anyway. Yeah, and then it's the Sims, right? Like, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I left every exam feeling like I failed. Like, like,
Yeah.
so, so on FAR, I mean, I think I crushed the multiple choice, and I guess maybe then if that's the case, then I didn't do as well, obviously, on the Sims. I got a 79, right? I mean, it's not like I had a 90, right? So
Right.
like I couldn't have. If I crushed the multiple choice, then obviously I didn't do that great on Sims.
But it doesn't
Matter, right? Yeah,
because you
I got
passed.
this 79, and I was thrilled to not have to study that anymore. It was painful.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible. So it's terrible.
Oh yeah, FAR is brutal. And so you did FAR first, and correct me if I'm wrong. So you said you were a commodity broker.
Yeah, commodity
is that right?
broker, like the futures market, mostly in the energy.
Okay. So was any part of the CPA exam familiar to you?
Zero. Well, I mean, all right,
right.
not zero. Like there was some of the bond pricing stuff I knew from, like that was on like the 7 on the Series 7 from what I recall. Like I was somewhat familiar with that, but like I had zero accounting experience. Like besides like like I took whatever. I mean I took 12 credits in college, but like I didn't do well in those classes. Like like I was doing better in my finance classes. At 19 years old, I couldn't tell you the difference between what an accountant was or somebody with a finance major, and like I took the path of least resistance and I became a finance major. At that point it's like GPA preservation, right? And I dropped accounting.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, no, this was all new, dude. Like I didn't even know like how to handle debits and credits. Like like to me, like if you're debiting my checking account, you just took cash out of the account. Like you didn't add it, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of had me twisted for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, zero.
So that's pretty impressive that you're able and we've had that happen before. We talked to a guy on the podcast like a year or two ago who was a helicopter pilot before he wanted to do the CPA. So just like had nothing to do with anything to do with accounting, but he was able to do it as well. And it just shows that like if you have the right process and you're dedicated and consistent, you can do it.
Yeah.
And so you did FAR, got a 79, which is awesome. And we don't have to do like every single little bit, but how did the rest go? Did you pass all of them first try? Was there any struggles?
Yeah, I passed all of them first try. I did, I went to audit next, which was, I mean, Becker's got like, I think Becker has 1,800 questions so far. There's like over 2,000 questions for audit. Like, I mean, like at that point, like when I went in, like I didn't, audit is just, for me, it just felt like straight up memorization. Whereas like there were a lot of concepts I just really kind of like that was beating my head against the wall with FAR, which is, like, I don't know, it didn't feel the same way for audit, so like my game plan for audit was like I just want to get to where I'm doing 30 question tests over and over again of all the materials. So like I was just like plowing through just that initial that initial go through of all the questions. Like I would do a re-review, but like I would maybe do like 2-3 chapters, modules, whatever, a day, right, and then go into re-review. I mean, it was exhausting. Like, I mean, like the way they word those questions for audit. Like when I think about because I've heard some of your podcasts where like some of these, some of the people you've had on are like English as a second language. Like I don't know how they get through that. Like,
oh yeah,
like it's like that's impressive. It's like I guess like with audit, I don't know if the idea is like like just in the career itself that it's just crazy attention to detail, right? And that's why they sort of make that test like that. But like like one word changes the whole question, right? So it was a lot. And then I I took that. I got a 77 on audit.
That's great.
Whatever, a win. And then and then finally you get to reg and it's like 1,100 questions to go over. On Becker, right? Like so like quicker to go through. I had an 83 on reg,
Yeah.
and
And which discipline did you go for?
TCP.
Nice. Yeah.
Which, quite honestly, I didn't find it that easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know what it is. Like, I wonder if some people are, because I'm not working as an accountant, right? Like, I just wonder if some people are working, working on the tax side, and then they're taking TCP, and that skews it, like they maybe know a lot more of the material, and it's skewing it higher on the, because the pass rate's like 80%.
Yeah, it's definitely by far the highest pass
Yeah,
rate.
yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, like, it wasn't coming as easy, but whatever's my highest grade, I got an 85. I don't know.
So
I thought I failed that one too.
So I'm curious with TCP because I do think most people have taken TCP. Yeah. I've met very few people who have taken bar, and then some people who have taken ISC. So with TCP, you said it was still kind of difficult. What made it difficult to you? Like, because to me it seems like TCP is kind of like Reg 2.0.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you just a continuation. So what made it a bit more difficult?
No, everything feels so freaking blurry after taking all that. I did have problems. I did have problems on a lot of like the partnership basis type stuff, which is kind of funny, right? Because that's actually like a chapter in FAR and Becker, and I was struggling with it there too. And then I had seen like on some Reddit forum that like, yeah, it's not tested on FAR, right? And then like I looked at the blueprints and like, yeah, it wasn't on there. Right. So then with like 2 weeks to the test, I was like, oh, this is great. I can cross this whole chapter off of studying. And then whatever, they tested in TCP. And I feel like that was one of my biggest issues. That, if that makes sense. I don't know. Is that, yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. There's almost always some part of each exam that is just harder for some people than other people. So as far as like your timeline, so I think that you said in the form you took about 9 months. Is that right? Or how long?
Did you take? I started in I bought Becker the end of like third week in October. I bought Superfast a week later. I took FAR in February, audit in April, Reg in June, TCP in July. Right, so I don't know if you say you call it November, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July. That's 9 months, maybe a touch over. But like I was so busy with all the classes in the beginning that like if I didn't have those to take it, I mean, you could
definitely would have been shorter.
2 months off of that for sure. And then I had like the 3 weeks I felt like where I was waiting for NASBA to get back to me, like. I probably didn't need that entire 3 weeks at that point. So but whatever. Yeah, call it 9 months. Yeah, and then like it was like, and then it was like
9 or less.
Months, 5 months from taking the first one to taking the last one. So
that's kind of like how it was with me. My whole process was about 7 months, but from passing my first one to passing my last one was about 4.5 months. So and it doesn't matter because you passed all of them first try. You didn't have to retake any of them. Something that I was curious about. And, we've kind of talked about some of your process and things like that, but what was it that drew you to SuperfastCPA CPA in the sense that what benefits did you see when you started using SuperfastCPA CPA?
I just felt like I had a real game plan sort of laid out for me. Like I do a lot of, like endurance, like cycling events, right? Like, so like where I need like a training plan for them. Right. And like, I'm a guy, like you give me the plan, I'm going to stick the plan. Like, I'm not going to miss the workout. Right. Like, so like, I'm not going to miss the, whatever the study session that I need to do. Right. Like I have it all like laid out for me. And that's like, kind of what I needed. And like, whatever. I mean, I guess Becker kind of does that, but it just wasn't in the format that I wanted.
Yeah. It's like that with lectures and textbook and all that other stuff.
So, I mean, to me, it's just really just having the game plan and again, like I told you, I was sort of inclined to doing it with the multiple choice questions, right? And I heard Nate talking about it, like you're basically you're reverse engineering those questions, right? Like you're taking the test to learn the test, right? Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I mean, I was just good at doing those questions and then going over the explanation, right? And if I didn't like Becker's explanation, I would go into ChatGPT and I would like talk it out with ChatGPT, right? Like try to,
Yeah.
pretend I'm like 12, right? Like, and, like just dumb this down for me. And that's what I would do. And actually it was kind of cool because I didn't have it for FAR and audit, but Becker did add like an AI.
Yeah.
I had it for Reg and TCP, which was cool because you didn't have to go bounce back between windows. It was right there, and it was sort of, like whatever the LLM, whatever is, I guess, like tuned for that particular subject too. Right?
Yeah, specifically for accounting. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just how I did it. I just really feel like you're like, and then like the multiple choice questions are like the building blocks for the Sims. Right, like, and the Sims are terrible. They're terrible. Like, I just like, oh god, I just like hate opening them up. Like, sometimes I was like, I don't even know what they're asking me to do. Right, like, could you be a little more specific? I could probably answer this if you were a little more specific. Right, like, I mean, like, hey, you open them up. There's like half a dozen folders or attachments or whatever. Like, oh, it's just terrible.
The extensions.
But then like, whatever, you take a deep breath, right, and then like you just say, I'm just gonna try and claw away as many points as possible on these.
And I was actually going to ask you about that. So how did you study Sims? Did you study them on the weekends? And how did you approach them?
I started out doing it like what Nate said to do, right? So I would use Saturday and Sunday as the day when I'm pretty sure that's what he said, like tackle the Sims on the weekend if you're doing 4 to 6 hours, which I think that's a perfectly great plan, and that's what I was doing. But I still kind of felt like when I was doing the Sims, I was like, I am getting all this information from doing the multiple choice questions, right? So like, I really just need to hammer these down. Like, so like my plan was basically for all sections, soon as I was averaging like 85, right? So I'm getting grades in the 90s, right? Then I'm ready to schedule the exam, right? So once I scheduled the exam, I would usually do it like 2 weeks out from then. And then I would start going through all the Sims. I went through all of them. I didn't spend a ton of time on all of them, but I at least looked at all of them.
Okay.
And then I would, watch the videos,
the skill builder videos.
On ones that like I really felt were important. Like, I'd read that for FAR, like you're gonna want to, for the Sims, you're gonna want to know your adjusting journal entries, right? You're gonna want to know how to do a bank rec, right? You should probably do some depreciation stuff. I forget, maybe it was another one. I don't know. I just made sure I kind of got like those key ones, like I was gonna know how to do them, and. There were just days where I would usually put them off to the last couple of weeks. Like FAR again. Like I started out FAR doing it the way I was told, but then on the other ones I put them off just because they are terrible. They're deflating. Like and then like I don't know. And then like Becker can't even grade them, right? Like they don't even like the system. It doesn't even really.
Yeah, it grades all of it. If you get one part of it wrong,
the whole line exactly is wrong. Right. So like then like I don't know, that was deflating, right? So I would just put them off, right? Like just because they're terrible, and then and then I did actually go through all of them,
So just to make sure I'm getting you there. So you would, at first you were doing it kind of that way where you would study Sims on the weekend, but it sounds like you kind of ended up doing something similar to me where I did the same thing where eventually I just I can't study 6 hours on the weekends. I had 2 little kids and stuff. So I decided to do a similar thing where the last 2 weeks, like my final review, that was where I did a lot of Sims. Exactly. So that sounds like that's pretty much what you did. So, and obviously, it worked because you were super strong in the MCQs and then probably just strong enough to get to in the Sims to pass each of the exams, and that's all you need. And I was curious. I actually wanted to go back and ask about this, if you don't mind. So you said you're into endurance biking, is that right? Or do you do a whole bunch of endurance sports?
Mostly bike. I had started out. I had done Ironman like 10 years ago, but then I just Yeah, I love the bike, mountain biking, mostly off-road type stuff. So like, like gravel has become a big thing over the last bunch of years. But yeah, a lot of like, anywhere from 60 to 200 miles. I've done. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
That's pretty impressive. I think the longest bike ride I've ever done was a 50-mile bike
that's
ride. And that was when I was in like Boy Scouts.
okay.
But and did you ever have you ever been out here to Utah to do any biking or anything like that?
Yeah, like 10 years ago, I was in Moab. Yeah,
Yep, I was about to
yeah,
say Moab's an awesome place. I've been mountain biking there and the
yep,
slick rock where your tire
yep.
grips the rock. It's
Yeah, I
super
mean, we
cool.
did
Well, that's
a
yeah,
ton of like gnarly trails out there, like stuff where like like there's like I don't know like 400-foot drop cliff, like like too damn
yeah,
close for a guy
yeah.
with 4 kids to be near.
Do you,
Yeah, and I've
yeah,
been out to Colorado, like I've done like a race out there, and up and down the East Coast, so like I'm on Long Island in New York, so
oh,
which,
okay,
we don't have
nice.
mountains here, right? But we have like good cross country trails, so like it's legit stuff where you can still go out to Utah
Do the
and
long
know what you're
distance.
doing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And do your kids do any of that stuff with you, or is it just you?
yeah, no, I haven't. I tried to
Haven't converted
recruit,
any of
but
them
yeah,
yet?
I mean they've done it a few times, but it's like yeah, it hasn't been fully embraced. But yeah, but again, like I
Yeah,
wasn't really doing that
I've
until I
that,
was
I
25 anyway. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I was just curious about that because that's pretty cool. And were you able to still do some of those hobbies? Well, I'm hoping that you were able to still do some of that while you were studying. Is that true?
Uh, yeah, I mean, because like I said, like running the daycare is kind of like only takes a few hours out of my day, so I was able to get out for a couple hours most days and kind of do my thing. So yeah, which is
Awesome.
good. Yeah.
Awesome. So I think we've covered a lot of things. We've covered your study sessions, we've covered your mini sessions, which you mainly did a ton of quizzes and the audio notes. Did you also read the review notes as well, or not as much?
I mean, I did for FAR. Like, I actually had those review notes like printed out and like bounded. And,
Right. Yep. That's what I did too.
so I did not for the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you didn't really do flashcards. You just, you kind of did a few of them for the ratios at the
Yeah.
very end, and then studied sims the last
Mhm.
2 weeks. Is there any other part of your process that we haven't really covered? Because I really wanted to talk to you because I think it's awesome, because there's a lot of people who are worried that, if they're a little bit older, I mean, like you said, you're
Yeah.
52, that they're worried that they're too old or that they just won't have the ability to do it. So I wanted to talk to you about that. Was there any moment that you felt like down on yourself for that, or did you feel like you were like how did that feel? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning with FAR, I mean, like I said, I told my wife I should just try out for the Knicks, like, because I just felt like it was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, this is like way over my head, out of my comfort zone. But whatever. I mean, you fall into a groove, and if you're committed to it, like I'm no rocket science, like I'm not some super genius here, right? Like I just like, there's a way to go about it. I think you're crazy if you're gonna watch those videos and read the textbook, yeah, it's nuts. Like like I did share information with my son because he was taking it as well, and he got an 86 on FAR and 83 on audit, right? Like, I mean, it works, like, I mean, unfortunately, he just
Yeah.
took another job that's completely out of accounting. He just started yesterday after passing the 2 hardest exams.
Oh, so is he's only halfway through the CPA?
Yeah, because he was offered this like job on some like an equity derivatives desk at and he wound up, he just
Okay.
wanted to give it a shot. I think he should probably still finish. He should take.
I would definitely advise him to just finish the
Yeah.
last 2. It would be, even if just having the CPA would be so much better than being like, oh yeah, I passed 2 of them, but then, oh well.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it, but that's me.
Yeah.
Is there any other part of your process that you kind of thought about before this that you're like, I would like to share that? if we haven't gotten to cover it yet.
No, man, I think it was pretty plain vanilla. Like, I mean, but like I really just followed it, right? Like, and again, it's just, yeah, I feel like I can't stress enough just, what we talked about with just being honest with yourself, though, when you're, if you're going to take this route and really hammer those multiple choice questions, like you're going to remember those answers. Like there's just like, there's going to be, if you're actually doing it, it would be, it's crazy if you didn't remember like a lot of those answers. Right. So like, so like just be honest with yourself and like really understand why that answer is right. And like, and how you do it. Right. Especially like, like a lot of that leasing and bond questions, right? Like, I mean, because they're going to hit you on that test with that. Like, I mean, that was, I don't know, I feel like there was a fair amount of questions on that. And like, those were like, no problem, like, but, yeah, again, I don't think there was anything else super special that I did.
Well, I've really enjoyed talking about your process, and, we were talking just before the call, you're like, feel like some of these could be done in 5 minutes. And so I know there's no reason to extend this and keep talking about a whole bunch of little different things. I didn't mean
that like I wanted to have like some short
no. But I'm just saying like, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. No, I get it. Like I feel like we've covered, the bulk of how you did it.
No, it's funny because like when I posted in the forum, like I really did want to just be like, look, like I have zero accounting experience, right? Like any of you people in here, right? Like just follow the process and it does work. And then like I don't know, like I feel like I get some messages back saying like, so what process did you use? And I'm like, I'm in the SuperfastCPA forum. Like this is like, that's what I did, right? Like it's no other secret sauce here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that. I appreciate that because I mean, that does happen, it's like it's all right there.
Yeah.
Like that's what that's what we're telling people to do. So yeah, I think that like, as we're kind of finishing up here, we always like to ask this question at the very end. So even if it's stuff we've already talked about, or if you feel like you've already covered it, this is just a nice succinct way to wrap things up. What would be your top 2 or 3 tips to people who are still going through the CPA exams?
I mean, it's just follow that game plan that was laid out. Like, and that the multiple choice questions, like seriously, are really like the backbone of like that whole test, like reverse engineering those questions, right? And making sure, like, I mean, to learning by doing the questions is how you conquer that test, right? Like that those are the building blocks of the sims, right? Because like no matter how many of those sims you do, right, and I did all of them, they're going to be completely different on the test. Completely different.
Yep.
Right? Like, I mean, there's a perfectly good argument for not even looking at the sims, right? Like, so, right?
I have talked to some people who've done that,
like,
yeah.
I mean, any points I was getting on those sims was because of the multiple choice questions, right?
Right.
So like if you're struggling, like especially with FAR, do those mini quizzes, right? Listen to the audio notes. Like listening to the audio notes in the beginning was like, man, what am I listening to, right? But like as you're doing the multiple choice questions and you're listening to Nate, like all of a sudden it's like, yeah, like it starts to click, right? So yeah, I think that's it, man.
Yeah. Actually, one last question. Did you listen to the audio notes on your bike rides and stuff like that?
No.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I just
it make you pass out while you're riding your bike.
It's not that. It's just like that would be like too hard to concentrate. Like I could do it with driving, right? But like, there's just like, yeah, it would never would have stuck in there, So yeah, I did not.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this is a fantastic episode.
Great.
I'm really happy that I got to talk with you today, Matt. And I think we've covered everything. So congrats on being done. It's got to feel good. Hopefully your son finishes the last 2. And but yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. All right, that's the end of the interview with Matt. And again, I really enjoyed talking to Matt. He had some great insight. I liked talking to him a little bit about mountain biking. I liked that he said at one point, I may as well just join the Knicks or try out for the Knicks. He had about as much chance of understanding accounting as being able to be on the team for the Knicks. But as time went on, he was able to figure out the process, and he followed SuperFast CPA's process and passed the exams. It was as simple as that. Again, as you heard him mention throughout the interview, that's really all he did. He focused on the multiple choice questions, followed the process, and passed the exams. And that was with basically zero accounting experience. So don't worry, whatever walk of life you're coming from. Remember, we've had helicopter pilots on here. We had Matt on here who said he had zero accounting experience. We've had a U.S. Marshal on here. Anybody can pass the CPA exams if you are using the right strategies and using effective strategies, which is what we teach at SuperFast CPA. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out our free 1-hour webinar training on SuperfastCPA.com. Check out becoming a SuperFast CPA Pro member to get access to a lot of great stuff to help you pass the exams. And just before you leave, make sure to like and leave a comment for this YouTube video or leave a rating in your favorite podcast app. Thanks for watching or listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.